Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is your friend and coach, your brother Mobita Christopher Nawa, MCN Inc. I come from Lusaka, Zambia, a place where birds fly backwards. On this channel, we discuss leadership, entrepreneurship, personal development, and other pertinent issues that relate to your overall growth, development, happiness, and so on and so forth. Remember, before we go any further, to like our page, subscribe to our page, and remember to always share this page. On August 12, 2020, the National Assembly of Zambia announced the opening of the 5th session of the 12th National Assembly by President Edgar Lungu of Zambia, President of the Republic of Zambia. The assembly will open in September, second week of September. Now, President Lungu, not so long ago, basically 2 weeks ago, encouraged the nation to observe COVID-19 restrictions based on the high numbers of COVID-19. The Minister of Health has issued instructions telling people to observe rules, COVID-19, social distance, wearing masks. Parliament this year, the Parliament of Zambia, lost 2 members of Parliament and in the space of 24 hours. And those deaths were under the auspices of COVID-19. Total right now, the deaths of Zambia citizens and nationals to COVID-19 is just over 200 people who have died. Thousands have been either affected or infected, diagnosed, treated, and some are still battling in intensive care unit. Several ministers were tested 2-3 weeks ago, and 15 of them were found positive. Some were in intensive care unit, allegedly. We never saw pictures or anything like that. Some have since been discharged and have engaged on a rampant battle to perhaps sensitize Zambians to be aware and conscientize them on COVID-19. When you look at the activities of the Ministry of Health and the activities of the president himself, there is a difference between what they are saying and what they are doing. For example, earlier this year, around March, April, the president traveled to Northwestern Province to go and campaign. And whilst in Northwestern Province, he did not observe social distancing. He did not wear masks. He did not do any of that. Just 2 weeks ago, the president launched a flyover bridge in Makeni. Thousands of his party supporters came up, hounded him in non-compliant COVID-19 situation. So, it is fair to say, oh, by the way, just 24 hours ago, Zambia police issued a statement that whoever does not wear a COVID-19 mask will be fined 750 kwacha. Now, in Zambian terms, for some of you that are not from Zambia, the cost of a mask, a good mask, is 15 kwacha. Let's just say on average 10 kwacha. If you are not wearing, 10 kwacha is less than 30 cents. Okay, an American dollar is 20, so just about 50 cents. If you are not wearing a COVID-19 mask in Zambia, you will be fined 75 times more in fines than the actual cost of a mask. Currently, beer halls, bars are closed, entertainment places are closed, and those account for a huge percentage of the gross domestic product of our nation. Churches are open, kind of operating through restrictions. One church was closed last week. Shalom Embassy of Garden area was closed owing to COVID. But technically speaking, bars are closed, schools are closed, primary schools, kindergarten, secondary schools are closed, except examination classes. To say the truth, in plain terms, the Zambian people are suffering under COVID-19. But the Patriotic Front government is flourishing under COVID-19. And them even announcing that they are going to open National Assembly. Now, National Assembly has Now, when you look at the way that COVID-19 is being fought here in this country, it leaves a lot to be desired. It makes one wonder, what are our leaders thinking about? Just the mere opening of National Assembly, it has 156 members. Right now, it has 154 members. Excuse me. As I was saying, right now, National Assembly has 154 members because 2 have died from COVID. Doctors are dying, nurses are dying. And when you look at the mortality rate in Zambia, compared to the mortality rate in other countries, personally, there should be no need to close down the economy. But they are closing down the economy because it benefits them. They stand to benefit. If you look at even contracts that Health Minister Chilufya Chitalu, even leaked messages that were sharing amongst themselves in their central committees and their own whatever, they are giving each other contracts to supply COVID this, COVID that, huge sums of contracts. They've received so much money, millions and millions of dollars and kwacha, and they are benefiting. But the common man is suffering. His businesses are closed, restrictions are out there. And this begs the question, is the president really serious about the fight against COVID-19? Is his cabinet really serious about the fight against COVID-19? And this is why a lot of people in Zambia have suggested, still suggest, that the COVID-19 existence in Zambia is therefore not a reality. Because if it was a reality, why would Parliament, I beg your pardon, National Assembly open barely a month after we've just put to rest 2 members of Parliament that died? Looks like it's a busy day over here. Excuse me for that. So this is why the general public of Zambia argue that COVID-19 in Zambia is not real. You see, people don't just wake up and say something silly. No, they are influenced by something. So to conclude this matter, if this government is serious about COVID-19, they should not even have had that kind of funeral which they had for those members of Parliament, where they even had body viewing of someone who died of COVID-19. We are the first country ever in the world to ever conduct body viewing, and the church was full. It was full to the brim. This government makes rules for COVID-19 in one breath. In the very next breath, they break those rules. Leadership is not what you say. Leadership is what you do.